We all think this is just a small problem. Nobody tells us what's going on. How serious is this? They all think they're gonna be fine. The boss is always lying to them.
Why is it a minor thing? Because it is Africa, and it is being done to Africans. If tables were turned and 7 South Africans were operating in that manner in their continent, and they take other people, let's say maybe from Russia, and they take them to China, and they are behaving in that manner, they're treating them like that. Something like this can never happen in their own country because they know that they will be sentenced, and they know that that side is a very serious crime. But because they are here in the Banana Republic, they can really get away with doing such things to Africans. What makes people think it is okay for them to treat Africans in their continent in that fashion? I strongly believe that there's no African who is a foreigner in Africa. And let me tell you, this treatment that we give each other as Africans, other people are watching. People are coming all the way from Asia. They walk freely because they know that when it comes to things like, xenophobia and all of that stuff, any type of phobia, it will never affect them for as long as their skin color is not like mine. The amount of self-hatred that we have towards each other as Africans is the reason why we are in the situation that we're in today. What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. My name is Perseverance Maremini, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self-Love. Guys, I don't know if you saw the video of a Chinese lady who was ranting in the Johannesburg court because of the sentencing of 7 Chinese nationals in connection with human trafficking and, child labor, illegal immigration, because of, I think it's around 97 Malawian nationals who were shipped into the country with goods cargoes, and they've been working under terrible conditions. I actually watched the whole thing on SABC News where the judge was listing, all of the, the counts which these people were being sentenced for, and the conclusion was that they are all going to be sentenced 20 years each in prison. And this lady, the way she was ranting and thinking that it was not much of a big deal, they didn't think it was this much of a big deal. Actually, let me play this clip of this lady.
What the hell is this?
Hello. What are they lying about?
What are they lying about? The owner is right here in this country. They're still running business here.
Right.
They're all employed. The boss is right here in this country.
Have you told the police about the real owner?
The real owner is right here in this country. You know that?
Who is he? Who is he?
I tell you, that big boss, he has a gun-related background in this Chinese community in this country.
Where is he now? Where is he now?
He's living in this country, in this town.
Wait.
I tell you, I have her.
Wait. Did you say brutal?
I have his picture right here.
Show us.
Yes, show us.
Show us
the picture.
Where's the picture?
Here.
Can you see the picture?
Okay, can you go that side, please, guys?
Let's go that side.
No. They need to know the truth. This is too much.
We want to see
We want to see the picture. We want to see the picture.
Just show us the picture.
Just show us the
picture.
Here.
You can just
Here.
put it in
Put it here.
in the cameras.
See, Mr. Lin. You hear that,
Enlarge
Mr.
it.
Lin?
Please enlarge it.
He's the big boss here.
Enlarge the
Yes.
picture.
You know why that number one has gone? Because he sells gun. The owner sells gun here. Number one gun is from the big boss here.
Yes.
Is the big boss working with the police?
Where's the big boss? Where's the big boss?
You see this? China Shield firearm store. It's in Bruma.
So, ma'am, how come he hasn't been arrested then?
Where is she?
Yeah. This is his store. He runs a big business here.
Why has he not been arrested then?
They're all afraid they're gonna be killed by this boss. So they keep silence all this time.
Why are you talking out now? Why are you only talking about
And why are you not part of the people who are giving evidence to this?
We all think this is just a small problem. Nobody tells us what's going on. How serious is this? They all think they're gonna be fine. The boss is always lying to them.
So, ma'am, why did they think they were going to be fine when they've been in prison this whole
I
time?
just want to start off by saying that for as long as Africans we are not united, everybody who comes out here is going to treat us like a banana republic that we are behaving like we are. you know, because in as much as we can always be against undocumented foreigners in our country who are actually the problem when it comes to crime, but the truth of the matter is that other people are actually watching how we treat each other and they're using that to their advantage. An entire factory with Africans in Africa being treated like that. And then let me tell you something like this can never happen in their own country because they know that they will be sentenced and they know that that side is a very serious crime. But because they are here in the Banana Republic, they can really get away with doing such things to Africans in their own continent. I strongly believe that there's no African who is a foreigner in Africa. When I visit other African countries and, you know, when the police try to get bribe out of you and they're busy doing small talks with you, they want to check your permits, they want to check this and that, and they say you're a tourist, I tell them I'll never be a tourist in Africa. I'm an African in Africa and this is home. Any part of Africa for me is home. As long as I didn't go in that country illegally, then I can rightfully just stay comfortably and say this is my home. And let me tell you, this treatment that we give each other as Africans, other people are watching. People are coming all the way from Asia. They walk freely because they know that when it comes to things like, you know, xenophobia and all of that stuff, any type of phobia, you know, it will never affect them for as long as their skin color is not like mine. The amount of self-hatred that we have towards each other as Africans is the reason why we are in the situation that we're in today, where anybody who comes in from any part of the world, look at the whole situation that happened with influencers in Russia. It's because these people know that in South Africa or in Africa in general, they can really get away with anything because we are divided as a continent. But when they're united and they're flourishing, they're thriving in criminal activities that are connecting to Africans. You know, like when I was looking at that lady, like I do understand, you know, the fact that maybe, yes, the big boss is still in the country, the big boss is not arrested, the big boss, this and that. You know, there are people in high places who are actually linked to the big boss, which is the reason why the big boss is not, you know, arrested or anything like that. But the fact that they don't see anything wrong with that behavior, to think that it's a minor, why is it a minor thing? Because it is Africa and it is being done to Africans. If tables were turned and 7 South Africans were operating in that manner in their continent, and they take other people, let's say maybe from Russia, and they take them to China, and they are behaving in that manner, they're treating them like that, they are having injuries. Guys, if you listen to what the judge was reading out, you know, the counts, the things that were done to African people in Africa, your heart will bleed. Your heart will bleed, like on a serious note. I honestly feel like at this point we can do better as a nation. You know, starting by treating each other well in this continent. Maybe then, after we have done that, treating each other well and also taking ourselves seriously, then people from other continents can actually take us seriously. Because there's no way people can just be so comfortable in committing crimes in our country. Why is it? Are we not the ones who are opening those doors? Are we not the ones who are allowing these people to feel this comfortable because we don't take ourselves seriously? Guys, I mean, let me tell you, in as much as when I say that when I step out of the South African borders and I go into another country, I feel at home, especially if it's an African country, because I came there legally. But at the same time, I'm a law-abiding citizen. When I'm in other people's country, there's no way I can have the confidence to do something illegal. What makes people think it is okay for them to treat Africans in their continent in that fashion? All these illegal activities that are happening. And let me tell you, there's always somebody from the inside. And I just want to say that if you are one person who's actually loosening and weakening our system by allowing people from the outside to come and do this, one day they're going to do it to your own mother, your own father, your own sister, your own brother. And it's not going to be nice anymore. Only then you will be out here crying, saying, look what happened to my sister, look what happened to my brother, because now it will be affecting you directly. Like whatever it is about us Africans, that when you look at somebody from another country in Africa, you don't feel like that person is your brother, that person is your sister. You don't even want to know whether that person is here legally or illegally. You just have this, you know, discrimination. The level of self-hate that we have as Africans amongst each other, towards each other, is out of this world. And I hope that this thing really changes us as a people, you know. I hope that one day at a time, we are learning from these things that are happening to say, guys, we're not safe. If we can't love each other, if we can't love ourselves, how do we expect other people to love us? How do we expect other people to, you know, treat us right? Do you honestly believe that when I, as a South African, you are safe if something like this can actually happen right here in South Africa under your nose? What do you think is going to save you? You know, I was thinking to myself that probably these Malawian nationals who are here in South Africa, they tried to step out and speak, but because of the treatment that South Africans would give to people from outside South Africa, it would be very difficult. And let me tell you something, these people from other continents, they know that. That's why they know that once they put them in the middle of South Africa, they have nowhere to run. Because South Africans, they will just make it clear that, look, you are not one of us, you don't belong here, you're not safe here. Therefore, it's better for you to just endure and suffer. And you guys, my heart broke when I heard that because of the operations of these machineries that these people were operating in those factories, one of them had an eye injury, one of them had an amputation. Like, there's a lot that has been happening. If you are sick, you are only supposed to buy medication in those tuck shops. What type of nonsense is this? And somebody has the audacity to come and say, we didn't think it was that serious, it was not explained to us, we didn't know that this is what was going to happen to us. What did you think was going to happen to you? It's because they told you that South Africa is a banana republic and you can get away with anything. Guys, this has to stop. And I just want to say a big shout out to the judge, because I feel like if it was a South African in another continent, guys, it was even going to be even worse than what these Chinese are facing. Because these charges are serious criminal offenses. Like, the shock as they're hearing these counts being mentioned or passed down to say, count 1 of this, I'm gonna give you a year, count 2, count 3, count 4, this is how much when they get to the 20 years, they're shocked. And they're thinking it's just processes in GA. Somebody will pay their way out of there and they won't be here. You guys know, this is a lot. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section about this issue of all these criminal activities that are happening in South Africa, from people who are coming outside, not even outside of our country, but outside of our continent. And worst part, being able to abuse people of the African, guys, there's absolutely nothing you can ever say to me. No toy in clinics will ever convince me that an African in Africa is a foreigner and they deserve to be mistreated. There is no way. There is no way. Yes, I'm against criminal activities of all people. People who are from Africa or other continents, people who are from South Africa or other countries within the African borders. But there's no way you can convince me that a fellow African must be treated like trash by South Africans, and you think other nations are just gonna watch and do absolutely nothing about it. I hope this is a lesson to the masses, to say, look, we can do better. Because you think that only people who are coming from other countries in Africa are not safe when they're in South Africa, but even when ourselves, you're not safe. Anyway, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys on the flip side. I love you. God bless you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.